Welcome to the Absolute BS podcast. I'm your host, William McCarthy, and I got my buddy Nick Luchenbill here. We served together during my first deployment. I believe that was your second deployment, right, Nick? Because when I started, you came back from your second deployment, right?
So you weren't there the 03, 04?
I was there. I think you guys deployed like with Arizari, Sergeant Hall, and all them, and then
Yeah.
So and then I came. We did the second one. We were in like Kuwait for a long time. Then me and you.
Oh, okay. So that was your first deployment.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. How many did you end up doing before you got out?
I did 3.
Yeah, me too. Were all of them in Iraq?
Yeah, they were all in the same damn place.
So Nick, we start every
test
episode with 4 questions.
There we go.
I call it the four horsemen. You ready for the first one?
Let's do it.
All right. So the first one is, what's your favorite tattoo you have, and why?
My favorite tattoo I have? Oh, geez. I have this smiley face on my ankle that one of my buddies from Fort Bliss, we were just sitting around one day, and I had given him a tattoo, and he's all like, well, hey, let me tattoo you. And so he drew a smiley face. It's like the old Blink 182 logo.
Yeah.
So that one's probably like the most sentimental. So it's horribly done and it's blown out, but it's my favorite.
That's awesome. Yeah, I had our Conway and Rogers up for the weekend a couple weekends ago, and I have a tattoo gun downstairs. I can't draw a stick figure to save my life, and we were drinking, and I was like, hey man, let's get tattoos. He's like, and Rogers like, yeah, let's do it. I was like, I got a tattoo gun downstairs. We didn't do it, thank God. But
oh, you should have.
You've done a lot of your own work, right?
I've done 1, 2, 3, 4. I've done like 6 tattoos on myself.
Wow.
Yeah, because I was apprenticing for a year.
Yeah.
And I only tattooed maybe 3 people, and I apologize to those 3 people because those tattoos are not good.
No.
And
was it harder to tattoo yourself than someone else? Like, does it hurt more because knowing that you?
Well, I think it was harder to tattoo other people.
Yeah.
Because I could take the pain and I knew what I was doing on myself, but like other people, I was too nervous to screw it up, and because that's a forever mistake.
Yeah, like if you mess it up on yourself, it's like whatever. But like,
yeah, like I didn't care about that. Yeah. like mine are all blown out and getting faded, and just like I don't care. But yeah, like I apologize to those people that I actually tattooed. So, and I don't tattoo anymore.
No. My next question is, what's the hardest thing you've ever had to overcome in life, and how did you do it?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I tried to mix it up between, like, not so hard to...
We're getting deep already. The hardest thing I had to overcome in life, and see, that's an interesting question because I don't really think that I've overcome it yet.
It's a process?
Yeah, because it's a constant process. See, I think coming home from war was one of the hardest things I ever had to do.
Yeah.
Going to war and doing all that stuff, that was the fun stuff. But coming home and having to deal with all that stuff, that was the hardest thing. And that's a constant battle.
Yeah.
That's an everyday thing. That's a wake up and I'm like,
you have no worries other than that. I mean, you don't have to worry about money. You don't have to worry about you just wake up, do what you gotta do, and then. But like when you come home, you get so regimented and you're so used to how things are over there.
Well, I always joke around, and I joked around with my college friends about this too. It's like I wasn't meant to be domesticated. I'm like that's what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to go somewhere, do something else, then come home for once in a while, then go back out again.
Yeah.
I wasn't meant to be stuck in one place.
Yeah.
So yeah, coming home Coming home was the hardest thing.
How was your transition when you got out?
Horrible.
Yeah.
Absolutely horrible. Man. I went through bouts of alcoholism, drug addiction, and depression, anxiety, all the main line PTSD symptoms.
I mean, you hear it all the time, like they prepare us for war and how to kind of survive that. But like, I remember I left post, and at first, like my high was like, woohoo! I never got my DD 214. This is fucking awesome. A year later,
yeah.
like, what the fuck am I gonna do?
Oh yeah. There's 3 days where you finally get that discharge paperwork where you're just all like, yeah, partying it up, living it up. I'm out. Screw you guys. I'm a private fucking civilian now. And then after that 3 days, yeah, you sit there for like about a week, and it's just all like, well, now what?
Yeah.
Because you're still waking up early, but you're just sitting there, and like you're just waiting for a phone call. Like, nope, no one gives a shit where I'm at anymore.
Yeah, you're just like, holy shit. And it's like, well, and then like you have no one really telling you what to do either. So it's like, even as an NCO, you still have someone you gotta like, not only be responsible for, but
yeah, everybody's got a boss.
So it's like, holy shit, I'm doing this all on my own.
Yeah, like you wake up, I go water the grass for like 5 hours and just like, what am I doing?
Next question. If your life was summed up into a movie, what movie would it be and why?
Oh, I have to pick a movie then. Oh man. Well, what? I don't know if it'd be a combination of movies.
Yeah.
It'd be like
it's hilarious, and then other times.
Yeah. It'd be a kind of a combination of like Ghostbusters and John Wick.
Nice.
Because I just got done watching John Wick with my sons, and I go, to sum that movie up, that dude killed all those people because he killed his puppy.
That's awesome.
And then, Ghostbusters has just been my favorite movie since I could walk. So
yeah.
So yeah, I think a combination between Ghostbusters and John Wick.
That's an awesome answer. If you could relive one moment in time forever, what moment would that be? Like, what would you say is your ultimate, like, best moment?
My ultimate best moment? Oh shit! I'm supposed to say when I held my daughter for my first time.
That's mine. But like, yeah, like.
I'm supposed to say that, aren't I? Well, let's just put that on record. I'll say when I held my daughter for the first time.
Nice.
But really, it was when I dropped acid for the first time.
High school for me. No. That's hilarious. So, where did you grow up, Nick?
I grew up in a semi-small town in Michigan called Owasso, Michigan.
Oh, wow.
It's nestled between Lansing and Flint.
Are you still there now?
No, absolutely not.
Oh, really?
No. I haven't been back there in since 2017 is the last time I went. And I only went there, because my dad died and I had to take care of some stuff. Yeah, and I might go back next year because my 20th high school reunion, 20 years is coming up. So I might go. Yeah. I'm thinking about it.
That'd be cool, man.
We'll see.
What you right now?
I am in El Paso, Texas.
Oh, nice. That's a good line to get down there.
I was here at Fort Bliss, and I got medically discharged out of here. And it just, and then I started going to school. So then it just kind of made sense to stay. And, we kind of built a life over here. But I think everybody's getting kind of sick of it. I think we're ready to get out of here.
Yeah. So what made you join the Army? Do you have family?
Okay, well then I'm supposed to say because I was a patriot and I wanted to serve my country. But realistically, I had absolutely nowhere to go in that small ass town. I didn't have any money for school. My parents didn't have any money for me to go to school. Um, I was working at the time at a manufacturing plant that we put seat tracks together for the Windstar van. And I was working down the line from my dad at the time. And I looked at him and he started working there when I was born.
Oh, wow.
So, and I looked down the line and he's putting the things that I make in boxes to ship them out. And I'm just all like, I'm done.
Yeah.
I quit the next day.
Damn.
I called my foreman. It's like, I'm done. And he's like, well, what are you going to do? And I was like, I'm going to join the army. I don't care.
What made you choose the army over any other branch? It doesn't not matter.
Well, I don't think that I knew of any other branches, really. What do you always see on war movies? You just see the army. You don't really they didn't really have Marine or Air Force movies. I don't even think they still have Air Force movies. Well, they made Top Gun, but that was it.
Yeah.
But I wasn't all into the volleyball.
Yeah. I mean, they had Full Metal Jacket, but like.
Okay, yeah, but I don't think I'd seen that movie then.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And for me, the best part of Full Metal Jacket was basic, and then after, I was like,
Yeah. It kind of got a little soap opera-y.
So where'd you go to basic training?
I went to basic training at Fort Benning.
How was that?
I thought that was a mistake. Because where was I? I was in MEPS. That's what it's called, MEPS. And they're like, yeah, you're going to Fort Benning, the home of the infantry. And I'm like, but I signed up to be this guy. I didn't even know that you did that. I thought that was, can I go somewhere cool? Like, no, but it was fun. I had awesome, well, I say they were awesome drill sergeants. But at the time, I did not like them very much.
For me, I had like the crazy drill sergeant, and then I had like the mentor and drill sergeant for me. So
I think, well, towards the end of the 9.5, the 10 weeks or whatever, they started to get more mentory. But yeah, I had this, like, I'll never forget this guy either. He was a skinny, like 5'8", skinny, backwoods, slack jaw motherfucker. And I could not, like, the whole time I was there, I could not understand a word this dude said. I cannot understand a word, like, but yeah, he was funny. He would just yell at us and we'd just be like, we don't know what to do.
Just stand there.
Yeah. But yeah, we're gonna get in trouble because we don't just don't say anything.
So and then you went to AIT in Georgia with the rest.
Yes.
Are you 25 Quebec or Romeo or whatever?
Yeah, well, it was a 31 Romeo. Then they changed my identifier to 25 Quebec, and then I'm like, okay, well, it didn't change the job really.
Yeah. Did you later on reclass, or did you just stay Quebec?
No, I never did a reclass, but there was a good portion of my military career where I never did my job.
Yeah.
I was either like the radio guy for a Cav platoon and just riding around with Cav, or I was the internet guy for some infantry people. Like, I never did my job.
Yeah. And so was Germany your first duty station?
Yes,
it was.
Oh, Germany.
Times, right? So how was your first deployment? If you want to go a little bit into that.
Well, I was actually looking at old images from, because I had a feeling you were going to ask me that. And I was a fucking tourist.
Really?
I have like over like 10,000 images.
Wow.
From that first deployment, but I have 4 from the second deployment.
Really?
Yeah, I have basically nothing from that second deployment.
Oh wow. A lot of it we were in Kuwait, and then we went to me, you, and a few other guys. We went to Justice.
Yeah, we were the Justice League.
The Justice League, yeah.
God, that fucking place sucks so bad.
Who was your roommate when you were there? Remember?
What was this dude's name? He was an older guy. Downs?
Oh, Dunlap? Or Downs?
I think, not Dunlap. I think it was Downs. He was an older guy.
Yeah,
it was him. There was a couple other people. I can't really remember.
I had Lawson as my bunkmate. McManus.
Low dog.
And Jenkins. Talking about good times. We worked. I think you worked the day shift with like.
Yeah, I was more day. I was more on the days.
Yeah.
I hated that fucking place.
Now, what would you say was different from the deployment we were on and then your first one?
Well, obviously not getting stuck in fucking Kuwait for like 6 months.
Yeah.
And just going right into it. But I would say the leadership was way different.
Really?
On that second one. We had like people want to talk shit, but we had a really good leadership that second deployment.
Yeah.
And that first deployment, I don't know if you've ever heard tales of Sergeant Jewell.
No.
But he was something else. We, you know, and a lot of the leaders from that first deployment were on that second deployment, but now they knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
You know, they were all seasoned. You know, like Sergeant Rivera, Sergeant Everett, like, you know, all the staples that kind of raised us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when I got out, first person I hung out with, I drove down from Washington to Oregon to hang out with Rivera.
Oh God, yeah. I see him on Facebook. That dude just does not stop fishing. Yeah. He's gonna deplete the rivers. Like someone should call Fish and Game on him.
Yeah, right.
Because I know that fool don't have a license.
And so, what was your third deployment like, and where were you?
Okay, my third deployment, I deployed with a unit out of Fort Bragg, and well, let's just tell you, that was horrible. Yeah. Once again, I was in a signal unit, but then they put me in a special troops battalion, and now we're going to be running convoy security.
That's all I did during my third too.
Yeah, but here's the kicker. They wanted me to drive this big bus, because all we were going to do is drive from Camp Liberty to the Green Zone.
Mm-hmm.
And just transport VIPs back and forth. Well, they wanted me to drive the bus.
Like a regular bus?
It was like a big ass up armored bus. And this thing was old, rickety. It was a stick shift. I hadn't driven stick shift in years. So I'm sitting there trying to drive this thing, and I'm just like, well, my platoon sergeant at the time, he basically, you're fired. And I was just like, well, what the fuck am I going to do? And he's just all like, we'll find something for you to do. And then they put me as the S2 NCOIC.
Oh, wow. What did you do as that? Because, like...
I played solitaire.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because, like, S2 is more like intelligence.
It's intel.
Yeah.
I played solitaire. I didn't have the clearance to do anything.
Right.
And by the time it would have taken to get that TS,
mm-hmm.
the deployment would have been over.
Yeah, during my third deployment...
So I played solitaire a lot.
I was attached to a military intelligence unit. I worked in S6, and then I was also doing convoy support. And
Yeah.
yeah, like they were constantly pushing me to do my top secret, and I'm like, you don't realize I come from a huge family, and like I got friends all over the place. I'm like, this thing is never gonna fly. Like,
Yeah, this ain't.
you got to be like a single person, went from high school to like the army, and that's like the only way you're gonna want to. Well,
yeah, and not talk to anybody ever.
Like that thing is impossible.
Because you have to list everything, and it was just crazy, and I was just done with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you got out, what did you go to? Actually, I want to skip back. So how did you first start doing your art? Like, have you always been into that?
So while I was in, I moved. Okay, so after the deployment in Fort Bragg, I got orders to come here to Fort Bliss, which I think that's the only documented time I've ever done a backflip to get the fuck out of Fort Bragg. So I come down here, and my unit, I was in a 113th Cav, which is probably it was a good time here. I had an awesome platoon sergeant. He was a grumpy asshole Mexican dude. I love him. Sergeant First Class Reese, if he sees it, miss him. But I started going to this tattoo shop to get a lot of work done, and when I got out, this guy that's been giving me tattoos for like 2.5 years said, "Hey, why don't you come apprentice under me? I'll show you clean the shop. I'll show you a trade." So I was just all like, bet.
Yeah.
So, I started doing that for a little while. And then he started pushing me, hey, you should go to school. You should go to school. Don't waste that GI Bill. And it was really just funny because, he's a big cholo motherfucker too. And it was just kind of taken back, like, why is he pushing me to go to school? Like, but he's all like, yeah, you should do this at the community college here, like an advertising graphic design degree. He's like, because I started it and I never got to finish it, so you should go and do this because you have all the fucking time in the world.
Yeah.
So I did. I started going there, and that's when I got introduced to, well, the class was digital imaging, which was basically just beginner photography, and bought a cheap ass fucking DSLR camera, like the bottom of the barrel, because I didn't know.
Yeah.
And that's when it all started taking place. It really just started picking up. People are like, oh wow, you're really good at this.
Yeah.
You suck at drawing. You suck at illustrating. You're not a very good designer. I'm like, I can't do logos to save my life.
How, like, were you taught how to do your work, or is this just straight up what's going on in your head and you just make the magic happen?
Well, I was taught, okay, so yeah, those first couple years at the community college, I was basically just taught how to work the camera. So basically everything that came out of that was just like the good idea fairy coming to me and being like, hey, maybe try this. Yeah. And basically just pushing that D3100 to its maximum limit. Yeah. And yeah, so it was just crazy. Yeah, because like you said, it was just one of those things where photography just clicked.
It's crazy because like all of a sudden one day I see on Facebook, boom, Nicholas Luchenbill, art designer. I was like, what? So I click on it. I was blown away. I was just like, holy shit! I was like, this dude. I serve with him? Not once did he ever talk about art.
Nope, never did. It was my little thing that I just had, just for me. Yeah. Because in high school, I liked art, and I planned on going to an art institute in Chicago, but that's expensive. Mm-hmm. And I wasn't very good at the time. So that wasn't going to happen. So I just kind of and plus I had a teacher say that I wasn't good enough. And I had a lot of family not encourage anything like that. They're like, you should not worry about art. So
it's crazy when in your head what you can do, or what I'm saying, you're passionate about something. So when you have someone being like, no, you should kind of just get a normal job or whatever, it's like, no.
Yeah. So I got the normalest job that I could think of, and I went into the Army, and we did what we did.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then getting out, I'm on disability. I'm 100% unemployable, so I can't work. The only thing I can do is go to school or watch the Kardashians all day. I don't know. Yeah. So
that was your focus was honing in on just to give people an idea. When we actually do this, I'm gonna have it flash up on the screen, but just so
okay. Yeah.
So this is one of your pieces right here. Before I even show it, funny story. So funny story. Yesterday, Nick hits me up. Hey man, the contract should come in, and I'm just like, I don't know what to do. I hope I do this right because I don't want to do it wrong. And all of a sudden, these 3 photos come in, and I'm just like, holy shit. So this is the first one, Nick.
Okay, yeah, that was the flight line. That was the majority of the flight line and sunsets at the international airport in Baghdad.
Wow, that's just crazy. So just to also tell you, right when Cheryl saw it, I was like, oh my gosh. Cheryl's like, yep, all those paintings are going down. Those are going up. So we're gonna get fitted things. I'll send you a photo of them once they're up, so you can see.
Oh yeah, nice. Yeah, I was debating on whether to send them in frames or not, and I'm like, well, the last time they were in frames, they got destroyed, so we're not doing that again.
So here's the second one. This is my personal favorite right here.
That is the most popular one.
Yeah.
Yep. That one actually won a photography award in France.
Wow.
When it showed in a group show in France.
I think you got Rivera up in the corner right here too.
Yep. I got Rivera, and that dude giving the finger that's Hukin.
Oh no.
And let me see it one more time. The big head in there with the goggles, yep. That's Soli.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You have another one you did that has a good photo of Soberanas in it. He has this iconic smile.
Yeah.
I love that too.
Yeah, I wanted to give you that one specifically because it actually has the 141 Signal Battalion on it. It has the 1AD patch on it. So it's just all I think that'll be more sentimental.
Yeah, this
for him.
Sergeant Soli was my roommate during our deployment. So
yeah.
And then, last but definitely not least, this.
Yeah, that's more of the flight line and those little trees and everything. Now, yeah, these are all hundreds and hundreds of photos just stacked on top of each other, and there's a cool little system in Photoshop where once you get done stacking all these photos, you can just press a button and combine them all.
Wow.
But it's only like designed to do like maybe like 2 or 3. It's meant to do like landscapes and like to fit landscapes, but like to just stack photos on each other, and especially in the quantity that I was doing, it broke my computer a couple times.
So when did it switch from you knew you were good at doing this to like did you get like your first compliment, or how did like was it?
Okay, so I went through EPCC, the community college, and yeah, the professor there was all like, you really should think about going to a 4-year university to really hone in this craft, because you're good, but you can be better. And I was just all like, okay. Well, my sister-in-law had just moved down here to work for New Mexico State University. So I was, okay, then I guess I'll just go to a 4-year college now. So I did that, got into the photography program there, did the series, the Daily Struggle, which you pull it up on my website and see it. Yeah. Because the whole thing, we were studying narrative photography, storytelling photography. So I really wanted to show something of like what I was going through.
Yeah, and I know there's a few powerful images that I love. There's one that like you're sitting on the bed and you got your old ACU uniform on, and it's just like. There's another one that like you're looking out the window holding like a big bottle of Jack. I'm like,
okay, now those are those are the new ones.
Oh, okay, I don't want to spoil that.
So yeah, those are new ones. Those ones aren't done yet.
Oh, okay. So yeah. So, all right, going back. So what was like? Was that like? Was your inspiration like when you were getting out? Like is that?
Well, I think it was more of like a necessity thing, because I needed to do something.
Yeah.
My wife was, she was fed up with me, and that was causing problems. Mm-hmm. So I needed to do something. So, I do the tattoo thing. Okay. My hands are riddled with arthritis from the army. So tattooing people was not going to work. So go to school, find something, find something. But then it just did click, photography just clicked. So it's like, this is what I'm going to do.
Yeah. And anyone that goes to that website, can you show your thing again? Because people gotta see.
Plug it.
Yeah.
Photography.com.
Quick plug.
But what really got me going, and what really like the drive. So my first semester of college, of actual university, actual art school, they have a student show, the student juried art show. And my professor's like, hey, you need to submit those narratives because they're good. Mm-hmm. I had never submitted artwork to a show. Didn't know how to do it. So I had just cut and pasted those images on like a Word document and submitted it that way.
Wow.
Well, let me tell you, that's not how you do it. And so I didn't get into the show. And everybody else basically had gotten in, but since I submitted wrong, I didn't get in.
Yeah.
Well, so that kind of sparked something. I'm like, well, maybe I can get into another show. So I started looking around for local shows. And El Paso throws this show called International Eye of the Camera every summer. And I'd seen it, like I was reading the newspaper looking for art calls. And so I submitted those to this summer show. Got in. Wow. I'm like, sweet, they're already framed, they're already good. Boom. Drove them down to El Paso. And on the day of the show, my wife and I, we started walking around the gallery, oh, there's first place. Oh, wow, that's real good. Oh, there's second, there's third, there's honorable mentions. And, you know, Marcia, I don't know if you remember Marcia.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, we're still married, still kicking.
Nice.
And we started walking around and she's like, well, where's your stuff? And I'm like, I don't know. And oh, we missed her room. Well, and so as we're coming up to my work, there's a ribbon on there. And I'm like, oh, well, what did I get? And I'm like, oh, what's that say? Oh, best of show. And I'm like, and she's like, well, what does that mean? I'm like, well, that means I won the whole thing. And I'm like, well, she's like, so what does that mean? I'm like, well, that means we got to stay for the award ceremony. Because they're going to give me a check.
Wow. So first I got to know, what was your emotions like going in and knowing that your work was actually going to be in front of people for like the first time? Were you nervous, or were you more like what were you thinking?
I was pretty nervous because it was the first time that I had really put myself out there in the photography. Yeah. So I wasn't worried about if people thought it was good or not. I was worried about, like that kind of like the, oh, what are they going to think of me? Like kind of deal. Mm-hmm. Like, kind of like that man. Like, are they going to think I'm a fucking pussy now, or Jesus? Like, I'm just trying to be honest here. Yeah. Like, I guess I was more worried about what people were going to think of me personally than actually what the work was. But it had another effect to it. Like people were highly responding to the work. Wow. And they, like everybody was like, oh, wow, that's, powerful. It's powerful, yeah. Powerful. That's like the word that I used that I heard the most. And that work got passed around El Paso like a whore. It really did.
And I think anyone who goes to your website and looks at it, like I know I was blown away. I was just like, and whenever someone says it's powerful, it is, man. It's like Iraq summed up in one crazy image. Like,
yeah. But yeah, and there's a funny story with that whole series too, is that kind of, it got me, like I started volunteering teaching at what they called as the Soldier Art Workshops on Fort Bliss. Mm-hmm. It's a little USO thing that they have. So I started teaching a little photography course to wounded vets and their families and everything, which I'm not a good teacher. I'm not. I expected people to know how to use a camera. I'm not very good at teaching how to use a camera, because at the time I knew my camera so well that it was just muscle memory. Yeah. Just like how, like, you don't teach a specialist how to shoot a rifle because we know how to do that. Like it's muscle memory at this point. So it was really hard to teach. But at the end of that class, they threw a show at the Fort Bliss Museum. And so I put that work in the Fort Bliss Museum. Well, at the time, that's where they did all the in-processing for all the new soldiers on the base. So, like the sergeant major of the post and the general of the post would come down and talk to these new soldiers. And they would be like, they tell people to like line up and go look at this work. And it was like a part of their like the suicide prevention. Wow. Class. And then the work was only supposed to be up for a month and then taken down, but it got requested to stay up a whole another month. Damn. So like
Is it
the
still
leadership of the post could use it.
there? Yeah. Is it still there now, or are they?
No, it's in my closet
Oh.
and packed up.
Wow.
Packed up, yeah, because I'm not gonna sell it. I'm gonna try to get it into. There's a veteran art museum in Chicago that I'm submitting it to try to get it up in there.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic, man. Wow. So, what did it feel like when you actually? Now you were nervous when you were in there. Was it a situation where like you're standing in front of it and people are asking you questions about your work too?
Some of it, yeah. And I'm not very articulate when it comes to talking about art. And so it was really hard to, like, I don't use a lot of big words. I say fuck a lot. I'm not the typical artist type. I
That's awesome. But I think your personality, like, I think people didn't even care. I think it was more like, wow, I can't believe you did that.
Yeah, they were just all like, so what inspired you to do it? And I'm like, well, I woke up.
It just got it done.
And I just set the camera on a timer and I just went through my day.
Nice.
Oh, so you really sit there like that? I'm like, yes.
Wow.
This is all true. This is what happens. It's just with a camera on you now. So
So what is your current projects that you're working on?
Okay, so the current projects that I'm working on right now are I have one funny one and one serious one going on at the same time.
Which is basically how our old military career is. So
yeah. So the funny one, I'll spoil it for everybody, is I'm taking pictures of pans, dirty pans that my kids forget to wash, that I've said to wash 3 times, and I refuse to touch them. So they're on the stove and they're caked with grease and food and everything. So I'm taking pictures of them, because there's beauty in that for some reason. I don't know. And then the serious project that I'm working on now is I'm kind of going back and re-exploring the dynamic of the Daily Struggle series and how it feels, and like really like how it feels to be out of danger for over a decade. Because it's been over a decade since we last got shot at. And so, like, what does that look like?
Right.
And like how, like, because I know how I feel, and like, so like I talk to veterans around the community and I ask them, and a lot of what I do right now is like I'm just researching that, because the series, I tried not to make it just it's not about me personally. There's a whole veteran community that goes that this is about.
Yeah.
So I try to it's about me, but it's about all of us. Like, it's like a little microcosm of everything.
Nice.
Like, what do people go through?
So Nick, going back to like when you first transitioned out and the struggles you were going through, did you overcome that yourself, or what was the process for you?
Oh no, I had a lot of help, a lot of family help. My wife Marcia, which we served together.
Yep. Was she also in the Signal Corps, or was she a mechanic?
She was in our platoon.
Okay, I didn't know if she
had gotten out when you'd come, and then we got married. So then she just kind of, that's how you know her.
Yeah. I didn't know, because I was like, I knew we had mechanics attached to us, but I didn't really know.
Oh no, she was a 25 Fox. She was a SIN operator. That's all I know. And they don't even have those anymore.
Yeah. And it's so funny that you mentioned, like, our job, because like our series. I mean, first deployment, we did what we did. We were working at an entry control point, Iraqi
Yeah.
prison, jail or whatever, and
Yep.
whatever work we had to do. And then my second deployment, I'm working in a base defense operations center with Cunningham. Cunningham got me the job there.
Oh, geez.
And then my third deployment, I'm working in an S6 shop and doing convoy support. So it's like we trained all this time to put up these giant
Antennas.
I'm convinced they still got those
Yeah.
those generator spikes in Germany, those grounds, because like
Oh, they're somewhere. They're spread all over Germany. They're spread all over Iraq. Because I know I left a few.
yeah,
I was like, I ain't digging that sucker fucking thing up.
things taller than us, and we're just hitting it with a friggin' sledgehammer for hours.
Like, does this really need to happen right now? No. No, but Marcia basically kicked my ass into gear. You know, like I ain't gonna mince words about it. You know, she was
married now.
Damn it.
I'm sorry. This is one of those moments where I should have paused it and be like, "Hey, man," but hey, we'll just say forever.
I'm gonna say 15 years.
15, yeah.
Yeah, because my daughter's 14, going on 15. She turns 15. Maybe, yeah. Every day is a blessing.
Yep. So what's the secret?
What's the secret?
What's the secret of like marriage? Because I'm getting married in August, so.
Oh. And you've never been married before. This
yeah,
first?
I was married and it didn't work out because we were constantly being deployed. So.
Okay, yeah. Well, just nod your head a lot. just nod your head. Just be like, okay.
Nice.
Just nod your head. You know, I'm not the one to be giving marriage advice. I know that.
I mean, you're doing something right. You've been married 15 years, man. That's awesome.
Oh, it's a long ass time.
Marcia was a big support. Your family, like immediate family.
Well, it was more her side of everybody that was support. My family kind of they kind of wanted to help, but they didn't know exactly how to help.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but like, yeah, like her sister moved down here to help us with the kids, and you know, because I was going through all my craziness, I wasn't being a very good dad at all. And then a few years ago, now her mom moved down here, so just to help support. Nice. You know, so yeah, like.
Did you do the VA and all that too?
Yeah, I did. Well, no, I tried to do therapy, but therapy does not work.
I went to therapy one time, and then I had another one the next week. I had so much like panic that I couldn't physically get myself to do it, and then I was fine the next week, and I went in thinking that it's regularly scheduled, and they canceled all my appointments because I missed one. I was so angry that I was like, I'm not doing this.
That happens. Well, I fit the stereotypical drug-seeking behavior. So whenever I would talk to him, I know exactly what to say to get the best, like uppers and downers, and I was on a slew of pills, and it just was not like they don't care about my health. Yeah, they're just like, yeah, here's some Adderall. That'll wake you up.
Third deployment, I was on Adderall, Ambien to sleep that night. Like I'm in fucking Iraq on Adderall, like woo, like yeah, they'd give you anything you wanted. Like
I would have loved that. Yeah. That shit would have been great.
Yeah, it's like holy shit. It's crazy that like I think the VA is kind of known for that. It's just like they'll just give you whatever you want, but when it comes to actual resources that would help you, it kind of sometimes I think they could do better.
Well, yeah, everybody could do better.
Yeah.
But from what I hear, it has been getting better.
Yeah, I hear that too.
But I'm so entrenched in that they're pieces of shit that don't care that I will never go back.
Yeah.
And
New Hampshire's not bad, but when I was at Fort Lewis, I remember a point I'm waiting to out process, and I'm waiting for my medical records, and they wheel this veteran out in the middle of the floor, and they leave him there, and I'm just like, no, take him first. I can wait all day. Take him.
yeah,
Like this dude's just sitting in the floor, like, and I was so mad. I was just like, there's so many veterans there, and it's just New Hampshire is like amazing. I could walk in tomorrow and get seen or whatever, but like just seeing that, I think it's more when you're close to when it's like a veteran near post where like there's a big.
yeah.
I think it gets.
Well, I think they're ramping up to finish this huge hospital here. It's taken them like 13 years to build this thing.
It's like
And,
Boston's Big Dig. Like it's
yeah,
yeah.
and that's going to be the new like active duty hospital, and then the VA is going to take over Beaumont or whatever hospital that is now. But I'm so entrenched that they're just going to fuck it up. So I'm just not.
Yeah. What kind
And
of words of wisdom would you give to anyone who's in the process of transitioning out?
whoo, just ride that roller coaster.
Yeah.
Like, because you're when you get out, you're gonna party,
Yeah.
and then you're gonna feel like shit. You're gonna be confused. You're gonna be, you're gonna be lost for a little while, and then something will click.
Yeah.
So just ride that roller coaster. Just ride that wave,
Mm-hmm.
and don't, you know, because it's not just you. You can call your damn buddies and be like, hey, are you sitting in your underwear right now watching the fucking cupcake wars?
Right.
It's like, yeah.
Yeah, man.
It's like, all right.
On season 3 of The Bachelor, man. Hopefully, like...
Yeah, like, yeah. So just ride that wave. Something will click. And if you need help, call somebody.
Yeah.
You're not in it alone.
Mm-hmm.
Just because we're not tied to the service anymore, don't mean nobody can't call anybody.
Yeah, I think the coolest thing about having army buddies is like me and you haven't seen each other in over 15 years.
Yep.
And then it's like bam, like it was like yesterday. We
Yep.
got beards now, but other than that, like
yeah, we got beards. I'm about 200 pounds overweight right now.
This corona, that's what I wanted to get into too. Coronavirus. Has that impacted what you're doing now, or?
Well, yeah, in a sense it did, because galleries shut down, and they went all online, and I don't like to show work online. Mm-hmm. Unless it's copyrighted under my website.
Yeah.
And so if you look at my Instagram too, I stopped posting. I was doing this photo a day with my kids, during quarantine.
Yeah.
And when we were locked down, but that quickly got old, and they're just all like, just dad, just leave us alone. And I was all like, well, fine. So we stopped doing that, and then I just, nothing was popping off at the galleries, and so I kind of like around this time, probably around like April, May, I decided I was going to take a year off. I was just going to set the camera down. I'm not going to look at art shows. I'm not really going to make any projects. I'm just going to take a year off.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a good year. Just had fun with the kids and try to get them through not going to school.
Did homeschooling and all that too? How was that transition for you?
Oh, Jesus. Because we had homeschooled the kids for at least 2 years. Mm-hmm. And then we got them into private school. But so now that they're home, it's kind of homeschooling, but then they're just on their computers all day with their teachers.
Yeah.
So I'm just kind of just standing here like, what the heck am I supposed to do? Like, hey, you guys good? thumbs up, and they just give me the thumbs up. So I just come back into my office and be like, well, I'm bored. Like they're
That's
doing
cool
stuff.
that you took a year off. Would you obviously found inspiration taking that year off because now you're working on those 2 new projects.
Well, yeah, like I wasn't so much like not working.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was busy, you know, just kind of like talking to other people, researching, kind of like getting a feel of what I wanted to do, and kind of just like taking a step back and just being, you know, just kind of more slow down.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because yeah, before the pandemic, I was showing work. I was in like 2 or 3 shows a month.
Wow.
You know, I was showing everywhere, anywhere and anywhere I could. I was just like, here's my art, just show it.
Crazy. And would you follow? So you'd follow it wherever it went, like travel with
Us, if it was local,
it? Yeah.
and like within driving range, like I think, like I showed in Albuquerque, and that's like 4 hours away. I actually went up there
Nice.
to go, but there was a couple of them that it's just like I ain't driving that.
Yeah.
And then I've shown internationally. I've shown in I've shown in France. I've shown in where is it? Yeah, I've shown in France, Budapest, London. You know, so yeah, obviously I didn't go to those.
I wish it would be in a spot like through, so it would travel through different VAs because that would be cool. You know, like I know you wanted to donate it to that VA, but that would be even awesome if there was a program or something that like
Oh yeah,
it would go to all 50 states or something because that would be really cool.
and
I'd
there are
definitely go see it if it was up here, huh?
oh yeah, there are traveling shows like that, but it's it's a competitive industry. You know, you need to be good.
Yeah.
You know, and I've got more denial letters than anything.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like I just got denied for a show here in Texas.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Well,
And,
Texas.
oh
Yeah, that place.
well, yeah. It was like, oh, we regret to inform you that your work is not good enough for us, and I was just all like, okay.
New Hampshire, they'd probably be eating it up because like.
On to the next one.
Yeah. That's.
Yeah, because that's what you know. Like I get denied. I get denied a lot. And it's just on to the next one.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that year breaks ending pretty quick. I'm just gonna start ramping it up again.
Yeah, once things start, and it was tough too because like even up here, like a lot of the museum, I always go to museums and stuff, so everything's all closed down. So I'm sure on that end too, like last thing people are thinking about is like going to museums or seeing art. They're still trying to.
Oh yeah.
You know,
And yeah, and see, yeah, now stuff's starting to open up. So yeah, now it's really starting to. Now it's the time is to start doing this.
Nice.
So I got to sit on my ass for a year. I'm done. time to get back to work.
Gotta get back up, man. Yeah. Now, have you thought of like doing something totally different from what you've been doing, or because is each project you're doing are they all basically like totally when you do it is it totally different from each project or is there a kind of a theme that you focus in on and then you branch out from there?
Kind of, yeah. There's always an underlining theme. I like to what always got described especially when I was in college was I have an agenda,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to make what I want to make regardless of what you assign me.
Yeah.
Or anything. I'm going to find a loophole to make it fit into the narrative that I want to talk about.
Nice. Like you
Excuse me.
when you're describing your funny piece with like the pots and pans, I got the vision because like there's love there's fucking there's sorry I'm swearing but like there's I know exactly what you're describing and you have the ability to put that into a photo which makes you very unique, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah, that's
what I like about it. Like
yeah, obviously I have to empty out the liquid, but there's dirty pans on the stove right now. They didn't get washed last night. All the other dishes got washed, but they forgot the stove. It's like, but then I can't get mad at them because they actually did the dishes.
Yeah, right.
You know, they just forgot one.
5 years later, you'll have like a spotless pan, a big smile on your face.
It's like, jeez.
That's awesome.
No, but they've been doing good. They're good kids.
That's awesome, man.
I
you look great, man. I'm glad you did this with me. I can't thank you enough for not just for being here with me, enjoying this moment with me, and
oh yeah, I wanted it. Like, I had like 3 cups of coffee before I even took the kids to school. I was like, I need to be high energy.
Bro, I couldn't even sleep last night. I'm like, all right, I gotta think of all these questions. I want to make sure this thing looks good.
Yeah, and I was thinking like, okay, so how am I gonna answer this? How am I gonna answer that? I was thinking about it too. Like, I didn't go to bed till about 3, and I'm just all like, okay, like what pumps me up?
Yeah,
like I gotta watch Highlander.
Nice. The movie or the TV show?
I'm a big fan of the movies.
Oh, okay.
Even though that they don't make any sense chronologically. But it doesn't matter.
Yeah, right.
Fucking Christopher Lambert.
You still keeping in contact? Who do you usually talk to on like a daily basis or on the regular?
Well, I don't really talk to a lot of people. No. Like I kind of, like once in a while, like say I have basically everybody on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
So like I see everybody's posts and everything, and I saw a lot of drama go on. So I kind of wanted to stay out of the drama.
Mm-hmm. But politics and stuff, for me, I was just like, I'm here to just post. I think I lost some friends through offensive memes, but post funny memes and laugh at dumb stuff. But like,
I really didn't like when I saw people that we had served with and that served together really just start fucking yelling at each other. Yeah. And it's like I didn't want to have anything to do with it. Mm-hmm. But like if I see something on on Facebook or Instagram, I'll make a comment and then it'll be like, because I saw that you were doing this, so I'm like, okay, yeah, hit him up, like, hey, how you doing? Like you're doing awesome, so like that, like we don't need, like you said, we don't need to talk every day. We don't need to keep in contact every day to make it, like to make it not weird. Yeah. Yeah. Like I could go to just about anybody that we serve with right now and just like meet them at a bar and it would be just like yesterday. So
exactly. If I can't sleep at night, like I got a message I think at 2:30 not last night but the night before, random meme from Arizona. It just boop. It was
yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, and just those random texts. I get those random texts from a lot of people.
Or Sergeant Ski, like I really connected with him once I got out. Like we talked all the time. Like he's doing his thing out in Hawaii, living the dream, and I'm just like super jealous.
Yeah, and Lemansky's out in Hawaii too.
Yeah, I talked to him. I'm trying to get him to do this.
See, I was gonna suggest it. I'm like, because I'm not the only person.
Well, like you're gonna be the fire starter. I know it, because you're gonna be the like spark. I think that like all these other 141 guys are gonna do it now.
So. Yeah, see, and that's another thing. I was thinking. I think you should just do the whole lineup.
Yeah,
just do everybody.
Yeah,
and I know Lemansky. He's an artist that works out in Hawaii. Yeah. He's like some of his stuff is just craziness.
And that's what I told him. Like, dude, your stuff's insane. Like, just come do this. He's like, I'll think about it. So I really hope he does.
So I hope he sees this and I hope he does it. Yeah. And all those other guys, everybody. You just gotta hit up everybody. Just see how everybody's doing.
The reason why I do this is not just for like people to see, but for me, like when times are getting low, like for you, it's your art. For me, it's like I can turn this on at any moment and relive this memory. You know what I'm saying? With this.
Oh yeah.
That's why I'm doing this. So.
Oh yeah, and it's about it's about time that someone did it.
Yeah.
You know, because it's getting to that time where we're, especially during this pandemic, we're all just sitting around, just kind of like reminiscing, like, oh man, you remember that? Remember that time we all snorted wasabi? That was fun.
One of my so I got two favorite memories of you. First one, of course, it's in the beginning when you and I had to clear porta johns together we had to stand outside the damn porta john for an hour, and then me and you got it into our heads like whenever anyone would leave.
What the hell what was that for?
Because someone wrote on the inside of a porta john.
That's right.
so Nick and I, we'd have to sit outside. Someone would use the porta john, and then
we'd have to go in there and make sure they didn't fucking graffiti the porta john.
So Nick, he's like, you know what? We're gonna go 100% every time someone goes in. We're clearing that fucking porta john.
Yup, I remember that. Wow.
And then another time I get
what a waste of fucking time that was.
Another time I get pinned specialist. I just get it pinned on my head. Nick grabs me both shoulders and goes, boom. Do you remember doing that? I probably still got like 2 dents in there. I was like, well, that's because back in the day
that's how you did it.
Yeah, you smash on someone's like collarbones when you get.
It didn't count unless you bled.
Yeah.
I remember. I remember Sergeant Rivera just digging in.
Yeah.
To my collarbone and just like, oh golly.
Good times.
Oof. Oof. Yeah, it didn't count unless you bled. Right? Now it's all Velcro.
I know, it's like it doesn't even do it. And then they put it like right there, so it's like you don't want to kill someone by punching someone like right in the damn sternum or whatever. So it's like I think we honestly served during like perfect time. I couldn't see us serving now with how things are because
I live in this apartment complex and I have military all around me. Mm-hmm. I have my downstairs neighbor. He's a young private, and you know he bitches to me about what's going on, and it's just all like, Jesus Christ, that shit would have never flown. Yeah. That shit would have never fucking flown.
Yeah. I remember like going into formation, and your face had to be perfect. Your boots had to be shine. You had BDUs on that had to be fucking creased down.
Had to have that crease.
Yeah, man. Like it was insane. And then during my first deployment, or second, we were dressed. We had all 3 different fucking uniforms on. BDU flak vest with desert fucking pouches
and ACUs. Like, they're not gonna see us.
At least during your first deployment, you had the desert camis, so those look pretty badass.
Yeah, and like why we got rid of those as an army was just ridiculous.
The new uniforms are pretty good.
The new uniforms are nice. Yeah, they finally because now you can blend into foliage and desert. like
who knows what
we went from blended into the desert to purple.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know who made that decision, but like, I hope they got fired.
I remember when we were first issued like tan boots and we no longer had to like fucking shine our boots. It was just like, oh.
That was fun, but then I thought that took away something.
Yeah.
You know, because I made a killing shining boots. Mm-hmm. Like, that was like a second job for me.
And you can kind of tell like who were like high speed and like really took care of themselves, and people who just were like, I'm getting the fuck out. Like,
yeah. I'm only here. Like, the number of days was written on their head. Yeah. You know, like how many they had left. Yeah. You could definitely see it. And yeah, then you had I think there's 2 different kinds. There was the high speed guys like Hukin, and there's a bunch of other guys that were just ridiculously smart and ridiculously good at their job.
Yeah.
And, you know, PT studs and everything. But then there was the guys like I kind of like myself that like tried to be high speed, but kind of like
I just did whatever I could.
Not too good about it.
Yeah.
Like I wanted to be a good soldier, but like sometimes I fucked up.
Yeah, I think we all did. Yeah, I for like when I first got out, I was having dreams all the time, like I'm out of ranks or getting smoked for something or another. I can't keep.
Oh yeah.
I was like, God damn, these dreams need to stop.
I don't. Yeah, like I still have them where like I get called back in now.
Oh God.
And I'm just like, I just go in there. I got my whiskey flask. I got my coffee, and I'm smoking a cigarette. And I'm just like, what do you want? Like you guys are a few years too late to be calling me back in now. Because, God, it was something to do with North Korea. Trump in North Korea. I had read something over there. They're calling people back in, and I'm like, man, I hope I get that letter.
Yeah, right. Just show up at the recruiter station.
Because I would too. I would show up. I'd just be like, hey, where's my stuff? Where's my gun? Let's go. Let's make this happen.
And one last question: what would you give a person maybe right out of high school who's thinking about joining the Army? They're meeting with the recruiter for the first time. What kind of advice would you give them?
Don't listen to that fucking recruiter.
For me, like they had this video of like computers, all this badass stuff. I was like, oh hell yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Do not listen to that fucking recruiter. Like that recruiter is okay. That guy is there only to get you to print out the paperwork for you to sign.
Yeah.
If he says he's been somewhere and done something and it's going to be awesome, no, it's not.
Yeah.
Because just don't listen to the recruiter. Because if you're already walking into a recruiting station, you don't need to be coerced in. Mm-hmm. Like, just sign the goddamn paperwork and just go. Don't listen to that guy, because that's kind of what I did. Yeah. I was working third shift at that car plant, and then I got home and I told my mom, hey, call that recruiter guy, get him over here. And once he got to my house, he had all these pamphlets and shit, and like the movies and everything. And I'm like, now, what do I need to do to sign? Yeah. I'm just gonna do it. And then I'm gonna go back to bed.
Only local big kind of business in your town, that car thing? Like
it wasn't even local. Like I had to drive an hour to get there. But no, that's just what everybody did, really. Yeah. It's just you either went to school or you went to go work at a car plant. Damn. Or farm. And I wasn't much of a farmer, so
yeah. That's crazy.
So yeah, it was a car plant.
Well, Nick, thank you for doing the show with me, man. I hope this inspires other people from 141 SIG.
Oh man, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Like I'm already, you know what? I'm gonna make a call out. I'm gonna make a call out to Sergeant Rivera.
Yeah.
Carlos Rivera.
Can you imagine his story.
Yeah, well, because that's kind of why I want to see this. Is I want those stories, because those stories got me through so much. Sergeant First Class Samuel Everett.
Oh yeah, I would love.
Need him. You
good
need
old
him.
Bobby Bouzoulet.
Yep. Oh, good old Bobby Bouzoulet. He was here in Fort Bliss for Sergeant Major's Academy a few years ago.
Wow.
I fucking saw him.
Damn. That's awesome. I saw Denard Corps like 3 or 4 years ago. He came over. He was doing pilot school and stuff, and
nice.
We had Mr. Max together.
Yep.
He's doing great.
But yeah. So yeah, and Lemansky.
Yeah, definitely.
The Lemansky's a definite. He's got to do it.
I hope he does.
Oh yeah, well just peer pressure him.
Peer pressure, yeah.
Either that, or it'd be like, hey, or just lie to him like how I lied to you about the contracts and shit.
Yeah, I'll be like, hey man, I really need to talk to you on this Zoom thing. Just show up.
Yeah, just show up and just start asking him questions. It'll be great.
Yeah. All right, buddy. Well, you take care. Thank you again for doing this, man.
Oh man, this was loads of fun.
And if you ever need anything, you let me know, okay?
Oh wait, word.
All right, man. Bye.